what I'm going to talk about briefly this afternoon before we finish is my truth about building a business on your own terms that fits with your life and with your brain as well. So after kind of starting my original business and working really hard and absolutely loving it, and I trained as a coach, I trained in birth trauma recovery, I trained in hypnotherapy, and I was super busy and I worked with people one-to-one, I ran classes and groups, absolutely loved it. And then a couple of years ago, I went through a massive burnout. So basically, I thought it was just a nervous breakdown, and I was completely out of action for a good 6 months. I was kind of catatonic, only able to really do the absolute basics of survival, looking after me and looking after my kids. It was a horrific time. I got diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and it was the time when I was kind of sliding into perimenopause, and everything started to make sense, like, oh my God, this is why everything is falling apart. And I kind of realized at that time, my business cannot continue as it is. I'm totally burning myself out in my life and my business. And Connect had started kind of as a hobby in 2019, and it was really just an excuse for a night out once a month with other women who ran their own businesses. And at the beginning of last year, so 2023, was just about survival. If you've known me through that time, you probably didn't see much of me in 2023 because it was just getting through the year. That was all it was. 2024, in fact, surprisingly turned into the best year that I'd ever had in business, which was a surprise to me. Last year, I kind of decided, actually, I'm going to switch. I'm going to focus on this because this is what brings me joy. Like G was talking about, this is the kind of thing now that really fills my cup, feeds my soul. I'm going to get into my 3 C's, which is my little framework, I suppose, for building a business that works around your life and your brain. The first one is clarity. So clarity in terms of defining how you want your life to feel. So not what you want to be doing or who you want to be working with or any of that, but really at the core of it is actually how do you want to feel? Like, do you want to feel busy? Do you want to be going from one client to another, to a Zoom call, to running a group, to be going somewhere else, to always be busy? Do you want to be rushing off to a meeting? Do you want to be doing calls in the evening? When I first started coaching with people one-to-one, and I was running calls in the evening, and I was doing things in the evening just because I felt like I had to. That's what other people did. And it took me about a year to realize, actually, I hate doing calls in the evening. I'm tired in the evening. I don't want to do that. So I decided, right, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fit in inside school hours, and that's when people can book in. Whether you're taking guidance from your human design or from your neurotype, if you're neurodivergent, if you're highly sensitive, really think about what does your business need to provide you. I realized, actually, I don't want to feel like that. Like for me, I need the time to catch myself, to process. I need a lot of downtime, and I realized, sort of looking back at all of my life, I've never given myself that because we are conditioned to be busy and to always be working and to be productive, and that's how you're valuable, if you're being busy and being productive. And especially being ADHD, that heightens that even more. You naturally feel like, I'm never good enough, I always need to be doing more. And I know that by kind of raising my own vibration, I can radiate that out to other people as well, and hopefully like show them that actually you don't need to be stuck where you are. You don't need to be kind of grinding away in a job that you hate or in a business that's no longer aligned. Because as much as I loved my first business, it wasn't aligned anymore. I say it jokingly, like I don't do anything that I don't want to do in terms of business. I mean, like, I have a lot of parenting things to do that I don't want to do, and I still have to do them because I'm a mother, and that's just how it goes. But in business, I don't do anything that I don't want to do anymore. And I was smiling when G was talking before, because something that I've written down and highlighted in my very professional notes here is choose joy as a metric of success. I think it's really important to be intentional about planning in those moments of joy where you can have fun and enjoy your life. And that often doesn't just happen by accident. It is something that you need to be intentional about. So my focus is on joy. That's my metric of success. Having time to rest, having time to just chill out with my dog and go for nice walks in the woods. So I feel like I've absolutely made it because I can do that. I've got enough money to buy a coffee here and there and, go for a lunch out and have a morning with my dog and not feel like I have to constantly be grinding, because that's not what I want. That's really not my idea of success. So have a little think, have a little audit of where you are in terms of working towards those goals of how you want your life to feel. And if the things that you're doing currently in your day-to-day business are in alignment with that, if they're moving you closer to those goals. So my second C in my little framework of clarity is conviction. What I'm talking about is being relentless, being resilient, and I don't mean relentless in terms of ignoring the need to rest, like very much the opposite. I mean, showing up when you might not feel like it, maybe you don't want to, but you are relentless because you believe in what you're building and you trust yourself to be working towards building that thing, because the only thing that's stopping you from being successful is giving up. There's no other option. There's either be successful or give up. So it's building that trust in yourself that's not necessarily based on external validation. It's not kind of waiting for your partner or your best friends or people that you went to school with to say, well done, that you're doing amazing, because 9 times out of 10, they're not even who you want to work with. They're not your ideal customer. And I hear this from a lot of people saying, oh, I'm upset that my partner doesn't support me or my friends don't support me. It's building that intrinsic trust in yourself and not having to rely on what other people say about you. Obviously, you want to care what people who are your potential clients say about you. I'm not saying completely disregard everybody else's opinion, but just be choosy whose opinion you're taking on board and you're taking into your mind. It is easier said than done, obviously, for those of us, especially with sensitive nervous systems. We have all kind of been conditioned to not trust ourselves, like particularly as women. The fact is that we are conditioned right from birth not to trust ourselves. We're told, don't cry, it's not that bad, oh, it doesn't hurt, get up, don't be silly, you're making a big deal about it. And those of us who are neurodivergent will have felt that even more intensely, that we can't trust ourselves, we can't trust our own feelings, we can't trust what our brain is telling us. So it is a really difficult thing, I think, to build that self-trust and to let go of that feeling that we have to be told by somebody else that we're doing a good job. Early on in my business, I kind of decided right from the beginning, I would never say a bad word or a negative word about my business. I would never say, oh, I'm struggling or it's not doing well or anything like that. I decided I'm going to have complete conviction in my business, whatever it was, whether my first business or this one. And I'm never going to sort of have that doubt in my mind that it's going to work. And I mean, for me, that has been a really good mindset to adopt in terms of thinking there is no reason why it won't work. There is no reason why it won't be a success. So I would highly recommend that, not looking for external validation, but just having that trust in yourself, that belief, because everybody in the room, what you offer is something beautiful. You don't need other people to tell you that, that, and it's just tuning into your intuition and knowing that actually what you do have to offer, your message that you have to share with the world, is so powerful. It's letting people know. It's not a case of having to sell. It's just shining brightly, shining as the brightest version of yourself, like a lighthouse, to draw people to you so that they can find out about you. So the third part in my little 3 C's framework of clarity and conviction is community. And obviously, I've built a business around community. I don't really know how else to do it, to be honest. It wouldn't occur to me to build a business in any other way. Having the right people around you will no doubt accelerate your growth in business. The number of women, even in this room, who I've learned so much from, the amazing women that have come to our events over the years, I've learned so much from them. And sometimes I think if I'd just been at home on my own, just behind my computer, just carrying on, I wouldn't have a fraction of the knowledge that I have, that I've benefited from the amazing women in our community, like collaborations with other people in the community that you build around you. But I think the key is focusing on real human connections rather than transactional relationships. So clarity is the thing that lights up your path. Clarity is the thing that will show you the way. So focusing on your why are you doing the thing, that lights up your path. Conviction is the thing that helps you walk the path. And then community is the part that makes the path worth walking.